Communications Commission, our regular meeting for October 9th. And the time is 6:04. Okay, let's go for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, go. Pledge allegiance to the flag. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sure, and I have been tasked to do with the invocation of this very, very special day in which we celebrate our American Indian brothers and sisters. And we praise you, Creator, Sanctifier, Redeemer. We praise you for having brought and cultivated our brothers and sisters into this very, very land of Southern California, this very, very land of San Bernardino in its ancient communities. We praise you for their presence, their legacy, their worth. Please, Lord, grant them prosperity, grant them numbers, grant them growth for their souls in every other type of blessing. But especially we ask you to bless us through them. We ask this in your name. Amen. Amen.
Commissioner Guzman.
Present.
Commissioner Kelly.
Here.
Commissioner Walters.
Here.
Commissioner Carrillo.
Here.
Commissioner Simpson.
Here.
Commissioner Cervantes.
Here.
Commissioner Sims notified me he wouldn't be here today, as well as Commissioner Roberson. Commissioner Knaus.
Here.
All right, have a quorum.
Any public comments?
There are none.
Okay, so moving to the approval of draft minutes. If everybody reviewed them, we had September 11th minutes and September 27th, a special meeting. If everybody has reviewed them and if there's a motion to approve them. Motion Walters, any second? Ross, second. And all in favor of approving the minutes? Aye. None opposed? Okay. We do have a presentation today, a PowerPoint presentation of 28th Street, traffic calming measure. So you want to take that over?
Yes, I'll take that over. I just need the screen down. Okay. Good evening, commissioners, general public. This plan was in the making for the last, I would say, year and a few months. It was brought up to our attention back on August 16, 2022, to this commission about the concerns that occurred on 28th between H and Waterman. So staff from Public Works worked diligently in developing the traffic calming measure, or in other words, I call it road diet. Either terms would work. The plan consisted of a road diet, strapping modifications. When I say strapping modifications, it's center line and then installing what we call parking lane or exit lane whenever we have the sufficient width along the roadway. Parking restrictions also were installed to prohibit, when the street is narrow, usually what we do is we install parking restrictions so we can eliminate the friction and side-swiping the vehicles with parked vehicles. And then we updated all the signage. We added additional signage along the project limits on 28th between H and Waterman. And then based on a petition that we received from the area residents, we installed Bronco strips, and we'll see an image of how they look like on the section of 28 between E and Stoddard That was based on a 100% petition that we received from the area residents. So the work was completed. So the project recommendation, we presented this to the commission back on October 9, 2022. And then on March 3rd, 2023, the work was completed. At the Public Safety Commission meeting on March 3rd, the commission requested a 6 months update of the results. So we were kind of like tied up on the data that was supposed to be presented last month. So we requested an extension to bring it to the commission this month. Next slide. So basically this is an overview, and we should have put like outline the location of 28. Basically it's the street on the top picture where it starts at H and extends all the way to Waterman. So it is 1.27 miles. It's a long stretch, and it was challenging for us in developing traffic calming measures and road diet plan. Along the entire stretch, we have 2 signalized intersections. The first one is at 28th and E. The second location is at 28th and Waterman, which is on the east end of the project. Along this segment, initially we had 4 stop sign control locations, and as you recall, this commission, there was a request to add 2 additional stop sign locations at 28th and Arrowhead, and then 28th and Sierra Way. And we did bring this to the commission. The warrants were met, and we took this to the city council for full approval. So with the addition of 2 stop sign locations, we ended up with 6 stop sign locations along the 1.27 mile segment. And then also on the east end, we have Wilson Elementary School, which we pay special attention in addressing the traffic control measures for the school. Next slide, please. So what have we done? So again, like I mentioned, we installed no parking with no restrictions on the south side of 28th between H and G. Installed right turn restrictions northbound on H at 28th from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, because it was brought to our attention that a lot of traffic were exiting the freeway and getting on H to navigate through 28th to bypass the congestion in the PM peak. PM peak is usually classified between 3:30 to 7, 4 to 7, so that's what specifically this request is, to have turning restrictions from 4 to 7 p.m. And then also we installed left turn restrictions southbound on H at 28th from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. And then we established a no parking with tow-away restrictions on both sides of 28th east of E for the first 100 feet from the curb prolongation at E. Because the lanes were narrow, and we don't want vehicles to park on the curb, so we prohibited parking along that segment of the roadway for the first 100 feet only. And then additionally, we installed left turn restrictions southbound on E at 28th from 4 to 7, and then we did the same thing for the northbound right turn restrictions. So as you can see, we're trying to minimize the intrusion of traffic into the neighborhood as much as possible from the major roadway segments, E and H. And you can see this is a picture of this currently the sign that is facing northbound, and there is an additional sign on the other side of the post that is facing southbound. So as I mentioned previously, the road diet that we implemented only was applicable to certain segments along 28th. So the first segment, we installed it on 28th between G and E. We installed the rumble strips on the approaches of 28th for both the eastbound and westbound direction at the intersection of Stoddard Avenue. And then we installed another road diet on 28th, or traffic calming measure on 28th between Sierra Way and Waterman. And then we installed additional traffic control devices on 28th and upgraded all the existing traffic control devices. When I say traffic control devices, meaning the signage, like, you know, the faded signs. We added stop ahead signs. We added stop ahead pavement messages. We also upgraded all the school signage with up to standards that based on the California MUTCD. The California MUTCD stands for California Manual of Uniform Traffic Control Devices. It's a manual adopted by the state of California. Every city in California follow this manual. So what we have accomplished, the results, next slide please. So as you can see, then we went and analyzed what we have implemented. As you can see, on 28th and H, southbound left turn from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., we have 415 vehicles made that turn. Northbound right turn 4 to 7 is 26. At 28th and E, in the southbound left turn, the same time, 4 to 7, 76 vehicles made that turn. And then northbound right turn from 4 to 7, 36 vehicles made that turn. As far as speeds, what we did is we contracted out to speed survey company, and I'm sure you've seen them, you know, the speed guns that they use. That's what we used this, along the segment. And then we observed the 85 percentile. And I provided the definition of the 85 percentile and how we measure speed and how speed limit signs are posted throughout the city. It's basically, it's the 85th percentile speed, the speed at or below, which is 85% of the drivers would operate with open roads and favorable conditions. And then we determine the speed based on the 85 percentile. That's what this is. So what you see here is the date and time. We took the speeds from 11:30 to 1 p.m. The 85 percentile speed on 28 between Louise and F is 35 miles per hour. On 28 between Sepulveda Avenue and Wall, and the date and time is May 31st from 9:45 p.m. to 11 a.m. is the 85 percentile speed is 36 miles per hour. The question is this high speed or not? So this is a residential neighborhood based on the prevailing roadway conditions, what we call prevailing roadway conditions, residential homes. On local streets, typically we don't put speed limit signs because it should be 25 miles per hour. So looking at this data, yes, they were above the speed limit 10 miles per hour over 25. But keep in mind, this is not an actual speed, this is what we call a spot speed. If we want to analyze this further, we need to go and do traffic counts and do a full-blown analysis to determine the actual 85 percentile. So this is a makeshift of the 85 percentile. Give you at least an indication were they speeding or not. And with that, I conclude my presentation, and I will turn it to PD.
All right. So we conducted enforcement operations before the improvements took place and then after. So before, over a 3-day period, the hours varied from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. and then in the afternoon from 4 p.m. to about 6:30 p.m. We issued a total of 45 citations. 39 were for failure to stop at stop signs, 3 were for speeding, and then 3 were for various other sections. The next slide, please. And then after the improvements took place, we conducted a 5-day operation, similar hours. We issued 30 citations for folks that disobeyed the signs that were posted about making the eastbound turns onto 28th Street from H as well as E Street. 20 citations were for failure to stop at stop signs. An additional 3 were for another section involving failure to obey the posted signs about making the eastbound turns. And 2 citations were for expired registration, and 4 citations were for various other offenses. All right.
Okay, I just want to add something to my presentation, also council forwarded by the Homeowner Association, by John. And let me run the numbers for you. There was a count done by the residents on 9/8 from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. for 2 hours. Eastbound traffic was 123, and then westbound wasn't indicated in the email, but a combined total of 123 on 28 between E and D. And then another count was taken on the 9/15 from 3:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. for half hour, which indicates 81 vehicles eastbound, 30 westbound, for a total combined traffic volume of 111. And on Friday, on 9/15/2023, from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., 1 hour, no direction indicated in the email, 227 combined trips. So I thank also the neighborhood for providing these counts to the public works.
Thank you for that. That was detailed. Any questions from any of the commissioners or anything, comments?
Before you do, Commissioner Cervantes, just because Susie's not here for note-taking, can you please state your name for the recorders so that when she logs the minutes, she's able to identify who's speaking?
Okay. Any commissioners, any comments or anything? Or are we ready to move to the next?
Just a quick comment.
Right, Guzman?
Commissioner Guzman, quick comment. This data, I remember, was presented previously. The operations that the San Bernardino police did, and I was very satisfied back then. And this is a reminder of the awesome work they did. One of the things that impressed me, and I want to highlight, is that besides these traffic tickets, there were other citations done, if I remember the data correctly, regarding dangerous drivers. Dangerous in terms of drugs, in terms of drunkenness, which we don't need in our city, in much less city, and that street. So I just want to commend Hassan for presenting us this data, and the San Bernardino Police for giving us this reminder of what was done. I think the city's becoming better and better. Just an opinion.
Ms. Aldridge was detained and she just came. Would she like to speak? Would she? Or we have the public comments?
We already passed public comments, but we can talk to you after the meeting.
Okay.
Okay? We'll talk to you. We'll be quick. Okay, let's go to discussion. That was Commissioner Guzman. You brought up that the chief's interview by the Sun Reporter. Are you prepared for that, or you want to?
I'm prepared for
Okay.
that. I'd like to spark some thought, and the proposition is that we ask the council to, let's see the wording. Forgive me, I'm looking at the wording of the to solidify a resolution for the council to take on in praise of the vision that Chief Goodman expressed to the Sun newspaper on an interview with them September 3rd of this year. And I can forward you the link, but basically I would just want to quote to you some parts that were very impressive to me and exemplify why I'm here. I'm here to make San Bernardino better, and Chief Goodman began confronting the naysayers to our city, those that want to bog us down, those that do not want to recognize our worth, our dignity. he began by saying we are no longer the most dangerous city. And then he went on to explain that he believes San Bernardino has become safer. He became a force on social media in why he threatened to paint over the patrol cars. The interview was edited. The people in this building, he's talking the police headquarters, are committed. They're hardworking and very capable. But there was some culture change that needed to happen. Some of it was changing the culture of we do the minimum because we have the minimum. He was talking about the bankruptcy years. The department lost 90 officers around those times. However, there needed a change to happen passing the stigma of the bankruptcy. He answers, I came here because I believe in the city. What I wanted to be able to do was to shore up public safety, confidence in the safety of the city, and give people the assurance that they can come in and invest. This is a place where they can raise their children. I raise my hand. I have 5. I'm raising them here, and I want them to be San Bernardinians. Did I pronounce it correctly?
You did. I was very happy with that.
Okay. Yes, we can. But by the way, I'm a kindergarten teacher in San Bernardino, so yes, I believe that children do have an absolute future here, and so this inspires me. This is a place where they can come for entertainment and to take their kids to the parks. We are not there yet, but we've made, in my opinion, some monumental strides in a short time. Let me re-quote that for you. We are not there yet, but we've done some monumental strides. Our agenda shows an echo of that. We are a city that there are some negative things that he deals with, some gangs, joblessness, homelessness, etc. Homicides are down because of proactive policing. This needs to be emphasized to the council, because oftentimes the council gets yelled at and they get insulted. Well, hello, we are doing proactive policing. We're not jailing people left and right, violating the law, making it difficult for them, but we are doing proactive policing because we have a phenomenal group of people out there. They're stopping cars. They're taking guns off the streets. Last month, we were given a rundown, a countdown of how many weapons were taking off illegal hands. People that should not have had them. Last year, we recovered 1,200 guns, and to date, it is 800. The count that we got last month was more exact. The other thing that I think that has contributed to its increase is our staffing. We went up to 290 officers. Yay. I'm pausing so as not to read to you the entire thing, but I'm looking for the quote that is the apex of my thinking here. It has grown beyond that now to where I do engage in a lot more robust dialogue on other issues such as legislation. My reason is that it goes back to educating the public about those things that make it difficult for us to provide the service they expect and deserve. People can value what the police do if they see what the police do. And it goes on. He believes in our city. He knows that we have potential. He and the department is very frustrated that we see at the burnings of buildings, the plight, etc. but the plight, I see it changing in my neighborhood. I see a positivity for children, my own and the ones I teach, and the ones that will be present at Oktoberfest. Just a little plug there. So I ask you for thoughts. I ask you to feel this vision of San Bernardino. It's ours, and it's the best city. Please quote me. It's the best city because I'm in it. There. Yeah, you can quote that.
Commissioner Knox?
And so thanks. That's my
I think
stuff.
this is an amazing gesture. You know, our city unfortunately is always in the media for negativity.
Yes.
And so I think this is important. I think it's integral in us moving forward and really establishing true progress in our city. Unfortunately, what's perpetuated most in our city is the negativity. That's what we see constantly. And when good happens, you hear about it once and you never hear about it again. So I think this is amazing, and I would like to move to approve.
Okay, so there's a motion from Canas, is there a second? And the second is from Creel, and then all in favor? Aye, no opposed? Good, guys, that was quick and everybody agrees. Okay, let's move from, I put number 4 on their solutions to illegal dumping, but I would like to move that to our next meeting, if everybody's okay with that. If we have a motion to move that, we'll move it and discuss it then, okay? Canas motion, second, Creel, everybody in agreement? Okay, we'll move that to our next meeting. We have no staff reports.
I have a question. On this safety project that we've been working on, okay, is there a next phase to this, or for the council, or what?
What we'll do is we'll just finish the meeting real quick because we passed like the public comments, so I can't stop for that. But we'll discuss what's next from here. You know, you can go and we can discuss that with
Okay.
the one that gives the report.
Yeah.
But we will definitely fill you in. Yeah, we'll definitely fill you in. I'm almost done here. I'm on number 6. We don't have much.
You and I can,
Right, you can touch base with it. Yep.
right.
Yeah, so let's move on to staff reports. There's none, new business, there's none. We have announcements. Public safety and human relations, do we have announcements? And we'll start at this end for all your wards. So Commissioner Kelly.
Yes, ma'am. I would like to thank Lieutenant Luna. He came to the Parisville neighborhood and the Valencia Neighborhood Association on September 13th. And he was very helpful with the issues in the area, and he gave very good statistics. We appreciate a whole lot there. And our next meeting will be this Wednesday at Denny's, 6 p.m. Finally in Valencia, if you'd like to join us there. Next, on September 19th, the motor officers were in the area of Valencia and were on Valencia, on Crestview, and I don't know the streets in between, but I saw them in that area. Writing tickets for the stop signs and for speeding, and I do appreciate the motor officers being in those areas. So that was awesome.
Nice.
My next thing I wanted to bring up was the new farmers market downtown on Court Street. It starts the 10/17, and it's from 8 to 1 o'clock, and it's supposed to be local fruits and vegetables and other vendors down there. I thought that would be great.
Great.
And let's see, and I'd also like to thank the Parks and Recs and everybody else, that the parks fall and winter hours are starting today from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. At 6 p.m. the parks will be closed in the evenings until the end of March, and then it'll be the spring-summer hours at that point. And I do have a request from a citizen about a stoplight at 5th and Sierra Way. The light at 5th and Sierra Way, actually the light on 5th is very delayed on turning green, I guess first thing in the morning. He goes to work early morning between 6:30, and it takes a long time for that light to change.
Which direction?
On 5th going, southbound. Southbound 5th at Sierra Way. And that will be it for me.
Thank you, Commissioner Walters.
Yes, I attended Route 66 that started out at, it was originally the Burger Chef, now Chris's Burgers on Foot Hill. And we had breakfast there, and then I went around and to downtown and visit all the vendors and everything, and the police department had a great display of everybody, and I had them laughing all day long with my jokes. So but I have to say, we have we have the finest looking officers. They're so professional and approachable, and the motor units look great. I'm glad that they have more capability to handle situations now on the bike, and that I had a great time, and it was a wonderful fact. Only one day, everybody was saying that the list was longer, but we had a good time and everything. Only thing I have to say that the city, they were real nice and everything at the city booth, but they gave, I told them about the Oktoberfest. They said, no, we don't know nothing about it. And they have all the commissions in this, but not the police commission, public safety commission.
Oh.
But everything that from, and that's why we publicize more in the city paper, that we might get more people attending our meetings. So,
Thank you.
but that's all I have.
Thank you, Altus.
Thank you.
Commissioner Cohen?
I attended Route 66 also, and I have to give their props. I always try to, get everyone to come to our city events, especially in downtown, because unfortunately people are kind of adverse to going to downtown. And I was at my son's baseball game, and one of the parents said, oh, we already went, and by the way, we felt so safe. And it's really cool to hear people say that, and it's a little sad they have to say that, but at the same time, let us know as a city we are making strides. People are feeling comfortable to visit our downtown again, so that's good. Also, on October 21st, in Bergamot, our Bergamot Neighborhood Association is going to be hosting their 3rd annual trunk or treat. That's going to start at 6 o'clock from 6 to 9. They are still accepting people that want to participate, so if you'd like to participate, you want to open up your trunk and pass out candy, they are still accepting applications. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Cohen?
Commissioner Carrillo, I attended the community meeting for the new fire station 227. Chief Berman was there, and it was wonderful to see the plans for that new one. I also attended the groundbreaking 226 on Del Rosa, and that was awesome to see the amount of people that went there. And I also took a little bit of time before I went through 66 and went to the open house on 3rd Street. And a little shout out to Mike McClintoff. He gave me a personal tour for about 45 minutes.
Nice.
I learned so much in 45 minutes that I didn't have a clue. Looking forward to Oktoberfest, and I'm good.
Thank you. Commissioner Guzman?
Commissioner Guzman, no announcements from my ward.
No announcements, thank you so much. Okay, and then my announcements are first, I'm not sure if anybody knows William Harrison. He was the owner of the Inland Empire Community News. He passed, and he was a huge person in the city of San Bernardino. He was heavily involved in the city. I just want to acknowledge him. I worked for him for a short time at the newspaper. They are a great family. Gloria Harrison, their daughter passed a few years back. She was an editor. A lot came out of El Chicano newspaper, if anybody's seen it, Rialto Record, and Community News. I just wanted to bring that up because he's huge in the city of San Bernardino.
Yes.
I wanted to bring that up. And then I also wanted to chime in on how great our police department is doing and how different the image is changing. And I agree that we need to get out there and bring attention to our city's changes. I drive throughout the city and not just my ward, and I've seen changes in streets, the buildings, the painting, the trash, the unhoused. I've seen a difference. It's still out there, but I just see a huge difference, even with our crime. I mean, you just can drive out there and see a difference, and we really need to have a positive view out there because it is all negative. And if we drive out there in our areas and our wards, you'll see the difference that's going on since we have our new chief of police. It's huge changes going on in the city. And I'm glad that we have a lot of people on these commissions that are active, involved, and care about this city, because that's what we need to move forward, is for people to care about this city, where you live in, shop here, eat here, have your kids play here, whatever we need to do, and take our city back, right, day by day, day by day. In my area, we have, Officer Luna, he's doing great, in our area. Adjustments, you know, when you change for your area and you get a new officer, you know, they move them, we hate it, right? You know, so sometimes we get same personalities and, you know, but he's working it, he's doing it. We have a lot of good officers that are handling it, and I think it's great. I think it's working. We're having a trunk or treat in Nina, and it's going to be out there at Country Club on Halloween, 6 p.m. I don't know if they're still taking cars, but we are having one there. It's our second year, I believe we're doing it. So it's something new to our area. And then on the corner of Marshall and Bledsoe, where I live, we kind of have the street marshal, and I have jumpers and candy and things that I do to keep the kids off of Valencia because of all the speeding cars, because of all the people running the stop signs. My biggest thing is, it'd be wonderful than them to walk down those big, beautiful homes and get candy. But the reality is, it's dark, cars race up and down, and I really try to get the kids to come down on Marshall and go around through the side streets instead of being on Valencia. So we do have activity there at 6 p.m. Other than that, I think we'll move to the departments.
Can I make one? Commissioner Creel?
Commissioner Creel.
I just want to give a shout out to the PD too. I mean, the PD, actually Public Works, Fire, has been awesome. It really has. I mean, and you know what? I go a lot to the council meetings, and sometimes the stuff we know here and all the positive doesn't really get out to the public. And I go down to those council meetings, and there's a lot of negative. And some of it is justified because they don't know the real truth. And a lot of us know the truth. And I think if we could get to the council meeting and shed some positive on our city, share some things, and get some of these people that don't understand what we do or what the city does or what the PD, and maybe get them to our meeting. Or, you know, my whole idea is, if you got a problem with me, come to me and let's sit down and find out what a solution is. But until we sit down and do that, I mean, if you're complaining about the police department, come to Coffee with a Cop. If you got a problem in your neighborhood, go to the Arrowhead, to the neighborhood associations. I mean, those are resources that can really help you. And when we start utilizing those, and we get the public informed and we get the knowledge out there, they'll understand that we're all in this together. We're not against anybody. You know, a lot of people think at the council meeting that you're against the council, you're against the PD, you're against the Public Works, you're against it. We're all in this together. We're all in this together to make the city better. And I look forward when I go to the council meeting. And if somebody's got a valid thing, I want to sit down with them and see how we can find a resolution. Because, you know, it's heartbreaking when you really have a problem and you don't know where to go. You hear? So.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Walters?
Yes, one final thing about the Route 66. Your Explorer program is excellent. They look professional. They're really dedicated, and they put many, many hours into the city. And I told them about my experience. I started at 14 in LA County and went to intern and regular and everything. And I just gave them a little pep talk, and they enjoyed my stories too.
Nice, nice. Okay, now we'll move to our department. So Fire, do we have anything to update?
No, nothing to report. As Mr. Creel stated, we had our open house this past weekend. It was a success. Outside of that, nothing else to report.
Nice, and Fire Department's doing amazing.
Yes.
When I see your guys out in the street, it's amazing. I apologize I couldn't attend your events, but I have some things going on that prevented me from doing that. But your Fire Department's amazing. And next for Public.
Public Works, I just want to acknowledge Ryan, worked with Route 66 over the weekend with O&M managing the traffic control that you saw around the parameters of the route. He always worked it on an annual basis, and he's part of the team. Also, we're in the process of developing CIP project for the city. We're meeting with different groups in the city, so we can incorporate future CIP regarding parks, buildings, streets, you name it, operational improvements throughout. So we're developing a new list, and then we have, in the last 5-year CIP program, we have 145 CIP projects, but we in the process of closing 45 project, meaning when I say closing, meaning that the work is completed, we filed the notice of completion, so we brought the list down from 145 to 100 projects, active projects that we have. And then when we add the new list, it probably jump up to a higher number. So you can see the workload that we have with public works. Besides that, that's the only thing I have.
And you guys are also doing a great job, and Ryan is always efficient. You're always on it. Thank you for that. Always.
Yeah.
PD?
All right, I'll give you some statistical updates. So for some of the things that were talked about earlier, such as firearms, this from January to September 30th is where these stats will took place. So the year 2022, from January to September 30th, we recovered 844 firearms. The same time period for this year, we recovered 978. So 134 more guns taken off the streets this year in this time frame. Last year we broke the record, and this year we're going to shatter last year's record. Methamphetamine, last year through September 30th we recovered 2,027 pounds of methamphetamine. This year we've recovered 8,900 pounds, so an additional 6,873 pounds. Fentanyl, last year this time we recovered 260 pounds. This year we've recovered 1,543 pounds of fentanyl. Cocaine, last year 1,059 pounds. This year 1,295 pounds. Felony arrests, talk about proactive policing. Last year we had 2,294. This year we're already at 2,613. So an additional 319 felony arrests. Misdemeanors, last year we were at 3,814. The same time frame this year, 4,497. So an additional 683 arrests. Homicides are down about 60% from where they were this time last year, which is phenomenal. Our solvability rate for homicides is 70%. The national average is somewhere in the 50% range, and our agency's exceeding the average. Events. The big one that's coming is Coptoberfest, this Wednesday. It's basically a giant open house where we're opening up all the gates of the police department and we're inviting the entire community in. We're going to have jumpers, we're going to have rides for kids. I think there's a petting zoo, there's a bunch of different city vendors. I know the fire department's coming out to hang out with us. It's going to be a good time for everyone that comes out. So the hours are 4 to 7.
Yes.
And we do have a booth there, commissioners, so anybody's welcome to come out between 3 and 7 to come out and help.
Yes, and at the conclusion of the event, I actually have the banner to show you what the banner looks like for the Public Safety Commission for Wednesday. And then Coffee with a Cop next week on Tuesday, 9 o'clock. The Western District's going to be at the Dorothy Ingram Library at 1505 West Highland. The Northern District's going to be at Shannon Hills Golf Club, 3380 Little Mountain Drive. The Eastern District is going to be at the Burger Boys Restaurant, 3644 East Highland Avenue. And the Southern District is going to be at Studio D, which is in the Chase Bank Building, 330 North D Street on the 5th floor. That's it.
Okay, do we have anything else, everybody else? We're all good, no other announcements? Okay, and we're going to go to item 8, items to reconsider for future agendas. Take back our parks. I would like someone, if we can get a motion to move that, because Sims is not here today, and that was his presentation. And if we can get a motion to move it, Carrillo motion, any second? Second, as Pismon, and all in favor? Okay, so that's moved to the next, our next meeting is November 13th at 6 p.m. here in the boardroom. If there's no further, I'd like to motion to adjourn.
We have a presentation for Robert.
It's not listed.
We have a presentation for Public Works for Robert. What we did, no?
28th Street, we did.
Yeah.
What is it?
Could you do a presentation for Robert? Acknowledgement?
Yeah, afterwards I'll talk to them, but yeah, the presentation is complete.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, man.
So if you'd like to have a motion to adjourn. Okay, Carrillo second. Okay, all in favor? Thank you, guys.
I'll see you at the next one.
That's right, let's do it.
Same time.